America's election headquarters now. The battle is not over for the Democratic presidential candidates, and that is sparking concerns that Senator Bernie Sanders' candidacy could damage Hillary Clinton in the general election, as Sanders releases a new ad ahead of the California primary in which he calls on voters to choose a new direction for the Democratic Party.
What choice do Californians have in this election? The biggest one of all. You have the power to choose a new direction for the Democratic Party, to break the back of a corrupt system of campaign finance that keeps a rigged economy in place.
Joining us now, Brian Joyce, radio talk show host of The Brian Joyce Show, and former Congressman Joe Walsh, a Republican from Illinois and a syndicated radio talk show host himself. Thank you, both of you, for being here.
Thank you, John.
Congressman Walsh, let's start with you. You heard some of Bernie Sanders' rallying cries in that little snippet of his campaign ad. Rigged economy, for instance. How is that flying, and how does it affect, more importantly, Hillary Clinton's campaign?
Hey, John, look, I think we're in uncharted waters here. And I think Hillary Clinton, John, is going to have a real challenge here trying to get Bernie's supporters. We are in a populist moment like this country hasn't seen in ages. We're upset with and disgusted with politicians. That's what Hillary is. I know a lot of talking heads out there are saying that, like Hillary's supporters who came around to Obama in '08, Bernie's people are going to come around to Hillary this year. I don't think that's the case. She's going to have to make the deal because Bernie's supporters want nothing to do with politicians. This is unbelievably different.
He was asking there, Brian, for changes in the Democratic Party. You know, let's make substantial, long-lasting changes. The guy wasn't even a Democrat when he started this campaign.
Right. I mean, this to me, John, is the height of hypocrisy. For Bernie Sanders to be lecturing Democrats on how they should run their party and how they should tweak their message, he's not even a Democrat. Now, if Bernie Sanders has this big of a problem with how corrupt the party is and how corrupt their message is, he could always do the honorable thing, which is run as the independent that he is. But no, he wants to have the juice and the power and the money of the Democratic Party, but it seems like he's trying to have it two ways.
So as Hillary Clinton tries to take on Donald Trump, Congressman, she's trying to obviously address him, ignore Bernie Sanders, but she really can't, can she, when she's getting attacked by Sanders, and he's promising to continue to do it all the way to the convention?
No, John, I think she's got to focus on Trump, but I really do believe she's going to have to, at some point in time, close the sale with what's driving Bernie's supporters. They've had it with the political system. They've had it with both parties. She's going to have to convince them. Now, look, do I think that Bernie Sanders supporters are going to help get Trump elected? No. What will get Trump elected is all these damn Mexican flags flying at these protests. But Hillary's going to have to close the deal with Bernie's supporters.
But if people are tired, Brian, of politics as usual, I mean, Hillary Clinton represents the politics of this country for the last 30 years, doesn't she?
Well, I think the congressman has a point. I think Hillary will have a tough time closing the deal with some of Bernie's supporters. But, you know, to me, this is just, it's astounding. And I've been saying for so long that nobody snatches defeat from the jaws of victory better than liberal Democrats. Now, up until a week ago, both Bernie and Hillary were beating Donald Trump by double digits in almost every single national poll. And this week, Donald Trump is pulling even, and he's actually ahead of Hillary Clinton. And Democrats have nobody to blame but themselves for this. Now, you know, whether or not Hillary is an insider and a lifelong politician, guess what? So is Bernie Sanders. So the bottom line here is, for better or worse, Democrats have to do what Republicans have done, which is get behind their man or their woman, because the American voter, one thing they don't stand for is weakness and indecisiveness. They want to see somebody who looks like a strong candidate, and right now Donald Trump looks like a strong candidate, and Democrats look like they're not sure of themselves.
Joe, both Clinton and Sanders are pouring money into California. Bernie thinks he has a real chance of winning it, and, you know, taking a huge chunk of the 475 delegates at stake there. I mean, if she goes into the convention having lost to the largest and biggest state, first of all, do you think that's possible? Could she lose California?
Yeah, I do. I think Hillary's got to win California just for morale and perception. I agree with Bernie. Look, Hillary's going to be the nominee. Bernie is going to have to endorse Hillary and put his arms around her. But John, I don't think Hillary can lose California. I think it would be such a psychological blow that I think her campaign would really be hurt by it.
Yeah, obviously, and they're going to have to spend a lot of money, Brian, just trying to fend off Bernie Sanders there.
No, absolutely. I mean, this is the kind of thing that Hillary does not want to be worried about right now. It seems to me like the entire country, including Donald Trump, knows that this race is down to Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump, for better or worse. We know both candidates have high unfavorables, but this is what we have. It's Hillary versus Donald Trump. Everybody seems to know this except Bernie and his supporters. And again, I think it will be a challenge. If she does not win California decisively, it's going to look like a disaster. And either way, this is shaping up to be something much more difficult for Hillary Clinton than she thought it would be.
It's going to be.
Hey, John, let me just add one quick thing. I have never seen a year like this where the American people have had it with politicians. That's a problem for Hillary.
Glad you're out of office, I suppose. Former Congressman Joe Walsh, Brian Joyce.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.